Going to begin the next poem, The Roadside Stand, written by Robert Frost, an American poet. Now, before we begin the poem, let me get you acquainted with Robert Frost's other poems. Now, in class 9, you have already learned two poems of Robert Frost, that is, you remember, The Road Not Taken and Stopping on a Snowy Evening. Now, both these poems are personal poems. So, The Roadside Stand is also a personal poem. In The Road Not Taken, he speaks about the choices one has to make in life. In Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening, he tells about his desire, the continuation of life. The Roadside Stand speaks about the disparity between the rich and the poor. Now, let me go to The Road Not Taken. Now, in the beginning, I told you it's a personal poem. Now, what does The Road Not Taken speaks about? It speaks about the choices that one has to make in one's life. Now, Robert Frost had to make a choice. This poem was written when he chose a road that is off-beaten. The poem begins, two roads diverge in a yellow wood, and I chose the road less traveled, and that made all the difference in my life. Now, Robert Frost was an American poet. Now, he lived in America, but he was not successful one. So, he thought about his choices in life. He thought about moving away from America, and he went to England and then became a successful poet. And he says that as he took a off-patent road, that the road which was less varied, that made the difference in his life. Now the next poem, Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening, what does it deal with? It deals with his fears in his life. Now he was not successful. He tried his hands at many things but was not successful at all. So one day as he was passing through the deep woods, he noticed. He stopped there for a while and noticed the woods to be lovely, dark and deep. He wanted to lose himself there. He wanted to move away from life. But the next afterthought, he thought that I have miles to go before I sleep. And he removes that thought away and moves forward in his life. Now these lines are very important. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have miles to go before I sleep and miles to go before I sleep. These words are iconic because these words were kept on the table of Jawaharlal Nehru, our first Prime Minister. They were an inspirational quote for him. He felt that in spite of all the troubles in his life, he had miles to go before he stops working. Now let us come to this poem, The Roadside Stand. As I told you in the beginning, this poem tells about the disparity between the rich and the poor. He speaks about the pathetic condition of the rural people when compared to the city dwellers. He also speaks about the innocence of these villagers. The idea here is the villagers set up a roadside stand. Roadside stand here is a shed in front of their house, so that the city dwellers who whiz past in their cars may stop in there and buy something from their shops. But none of them do it. Even if somebody does it, they stop there not to buy something but ask for something that is not there, like a gallon of gas, or tell them about the marred landscape. The signboards haven't been kept properly, or the paint of the shed has marred the landscape beauty. And then they also speak about, or they just come there to take a turn or a U turn and then just move away. They are not concerned about the welfare of these poor people. And he also speaks about the callous nature of the government too, the politicians too, who during the elections promise great things, but after the elections do not care to look at this poor people. He does not find any solution to this. At the end, he says, there should be some way to bring an end to the sufferings of these people. Now, let us go into the poem. Now, let us move over to the explanation of the poem. Now, first, I'll give you the meanings of the first 6 lines and then explain it. The little old house was out with a little new shed. Out here is extended outside. Shed means a simple building for storing things. In front, at the edge of the road where the traffic sped. Edge is border and traffic are vehicles and sped is to move fast. Traffic sped, the fast movement of vehicles. A roadside stand that too pathetically pled. A roadside stand, roadside by the side of the road. Stand, here a place at which people can buy things or obtain information. And roadside stand, a stand that is there beside the roadside. That too pathetically pled. Pathetically in a very pitiable manner. Pled means to make a request, just like saying please. So what did the roadside stand do? The poet says that a roadside stand that was set up at the side of the road pathetically pled. So pathetically pled, here is the figure of speech or the poetic device personification, because the roadside stand is a non-living thing and has been given living qualities. Who actually plead? Human beings plead. Now the roadside stand has been given human qualities. So pathetically pled is the poetic device personification. Now it would not be fair to say for a dole of bread. Not fair. That is, it would not be right, it would not be just to say for a dole of bread. Here, dole of bread means just donations or charity as such. But for some money, some of the money, the cash whose flow supports. Cash again here is money in hand whose flow supports the flower of cities. Now the flower of cities means the best things of the cities, the best things that are there in the cities. From sinking and withering faint. Sinking here is ruin and withering means drying and shrinking. Faint means lifeless. I'll repeat this. The flower of the cities means the best things of the city. Sinking here means ruin. What is the real meaning of sinking? Sinking means to be sunk. Okay. Now withering, drying and shrinking, and faint is lifeless. Here is lifeless. Okay. But now what is the rhyme scheme of these lines? The rhyme scheme of this poem is AABB, because now from the first line, the last word, that is how we find the rhyme scheme. The last word here shed, second line spread, third line pled, and the fourth line bread. The first and the second lines, that is the last words of the first and the second lines, rhyme together. So we are giving it the alphabet A and A. The third line, that is the third lines, and the fourth line, the last words, plead and bread, both of them rhyme together. So we will give the alphabet B and B. So what is the poetic device here? A, B, B. Okay, now let us move over to the explanation of the poem. Now the poem begins with the description of the stand. That is what we find in the first 2 lines.
that is the little old house, was out with a little new shed in front at the edge of the road where the traffic sped. There was a little house and it was extended and a shed was built in front of the house. And at one corner of the road, traffic moved ahead very fast and the roadside stand was set up there. It appeared to be begging for customers, which is the word that says this denotes that is a roadside stand that too pathetically pled that it was begging for customers. It would not be fair to say that people who ran it pleaded for a dole of bread. Now, here, what is dole of bread? Donations for charity. These people set up the roadside stand not for donations or not for charity, but to make some money. Okay, but they seem to be expecting their customers for earning some money. They wanted to earn some cash. Please note, they did not want donations or charity. They wanted to earn some cash by selling the produce that they had in their shop, that is the roadside stand. This cash supports the best things of the city. Which cash supports? That is the cash that they may get in hand from these people, that is the city dwellers who sped past in front of the road in their vehicles, new vehicles. This cash will help them to support the flower of the cities. It is money and wealth that saves all these best and beautiful things in the cities from ruin and withering away. Now, the flower of the cities. The flower of the cities here is the poetic device or the figure of speech metaphor because direct comparison has been made between the villages and the cities. Okay. Now, where was the stand situated and how was it made? The roadside stand was situated at one side of the road and a little house was extended and a shed was constructed to open it. Then what is too pathetically pled? Too pathetically pled means it begged in the most humble manner. Now, is it right that the roadside stand was set up for a dole of bread? No, it is not right. It's not for a dole of bread, not for donations or for charity. It was to earn some money. Now, what was the real aim of those who were running the stand now? Again, what was the real aim? The real aim was to earn some money. From whom? From the city people who were passing by in their vehicles.